what about my dad? He just died.
Yep.
He didn't get healed.
Nope.
And I prayed, and the church prayed.
You haven't seen a miracle in your own life.
Do I believe in miracles?
I don't know. What I've just seen is real.
God is not Oprah saying you get a miracle, you get a miracle, you get a miracle.
No.
Everyone gets a miracle.
No.
Welcome to Filthy Hope.
Join us as we hear real, unfiltered conversations about faith, life, and the messy bits in between. Welcome back to Filthy Hope. We're the podcast where we talk about faith with no filter. We talk about life and faith in the grace spaces where grit and grace are one and the same, where life has lots of hope even when things feel tragic and down. And today I'm with my Reverend Brother John Humphries. Welcome.
Reverend Sister.
Hey, we've got a good one today.
Yeah, we're going to have a conversation. Because last episode that we just did by ourselves, you were talking about your miracle.
Yes.
You had a bundle branch blockage.
Yes.
Which is the neurons not working.
In my heart.
And that could never be fixed.
Yep,
because
that's what they said. And I would need a pacemaker.
And then you had to have abdominal surgery to fix a hernia.
Yep.
And it ended up being 3 hernias.
Yeah.
And if you weren't watching, go back and watch it. It's an amazing story. But basically, the thing that could not medically be fixed, what was the answer?
It just isn't there anymore.
Just isn't there anymore.
Yeah, and I'm off medication for it. So it's quite an extraordinary thing, and this is weeks down the track, 6 weeks down the track now since then. So it's amazing. So we wanted to come back and actually talk about miracles, because I talked about how I feel about miracles, and I've seen plenty of miracles in my life, and not only through my own health and well-being, but through others. And I wanted to ask you the same question, John, and hear what your take on miracles are, because not everybody believes in this business. What's your thoughts?
Yeah. We've just done a podcast episode with my daughter Rachel, and I think I sit a bit with her that I don't not believe in miracles.
Yeah.
Clearly you've had one.
Yep.
But I've not experienced them in that way.
Yep.
I haven't seen it happen in that way other than to you, and I wasn't part of your miracle. It's not that I don't believe in the miraculous, but I guess I sit with all the team that don't get the miracles.
Yeah.
You know, I had a dad got cancer, he died.
Yep.
I've seen people have the same experience, and we can pray for their healing.
Yep.
But they don't get the healing.
Right.
In a miraculous way. They don't get magically made better, more miraculously made better. They're not brought back to life or anything like that. So, yeah, it's just not part of my actual faith repertoire in terms of actual experience.
And yet at the moment we're in this Lent journey. So that's that season in the Bible that happens in the lead up to Easter, where we do these 6 weeks and we talk about different amazing things that Jesus did on his way to his own crucifixion and resurrection. And in the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about the blind man that miraculously got healed through Jesus spat into some dirt and made mud and then wiped the mud on the dude's eyes and then told him to go and wash off the mud in this pool, and he could then see. How do you then, if you haven't seen a miracle in your own life and you have this skepticism around it, how then do you speak that to your community of believers?
So I don't think I'm a skeptic in the sense that I don't disbelieve it. It's just not an emphasis I put in my life. It's not like you. Right. Yours is a lived reality.
Yep.
And so that becomes a natural part of your story. It's not a part of my story.
Yep.
Those miracles that we talked about today, it was Lazarus.
Yes.
Last week it was the spitty mud.
Yep.
I see them as part of the narrative because Jesus works to make the spitting mud. He could have just gone, miracle, you're blind, now you're not.
Yep. Magic.
Didn't need mud.
Yep.
But the working of the mud on the Sabbath day for Jewish people was against the rules.
And the spitting, the bodily fluids, right?
Challenged, yeah. Well, that depends if he had an unclean discharge as well. But the fact that he did it to effectively go na to the people who are in charge of religion, and for them that was the greatest offense. And then again, he heals. It's a weird story, that Lazarus one, because
4 days dead, mate.
But before that, Mary goes, "You're a miracle doer.
Come help me
and help us, because Lazarus is sick and you can make him better."
Yeah, and they knew he could make him better.
And they knew he could, and they believed he could.
And they were besties.
And then Jesus goes, "Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay here."
It's a bit like if I was asking you to do something to help me and my family, and you were the only guy that could do it. You and Linda would come and help us because you had these special gifts to be able to do it. And you don't rock up. You just go, no, I'm not coming.
I'll fix it later.
Yeah, and then you come over later and it's too late almost.
Yeah.
It's like bloody rude.
He says to his disciples, "No, we're not going yet. Lazarus is he's going to fall asleep." And they go, "Well, if he falls asleep, he'll just wake up." No, Lazarus is dead.
Yeah, sleepy sleep.
Dead.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you get to hear that, because you're going to see something that's pretty special.
Yes.
But
so do you think it happened? Did he really raise him from the dead? Is the story real, do you think?
I can accept that it's real.
Yeah.
But for me, the big takeaway is Jesus, who I believe was God, on one hand says this is how it's all going to work for the plan, because if I raise this guy to life, everyone's going to go, it's pretty hard not to believe in this guy.
Yeah.
And so that's really going to get up the nose of the religious leaders.
Oh, yeah. There'll be no denying that.
Not because they're evil, but because you can't really not believe that this person's from God if you can bring somebody back from the dead.
And can I ask you, Jesus dies and raises again we talk about 3 days, from the Friday to the Sunday, they talk 3 days.
If you count it, it's really just 2 nights.
It is 2 nights, I know. That always does my head in, third day.
On the third day, but he dies in the afternoon.
Yeah, like 3 o'clock or so, right?
3 o'clock.
And then up in the morning, he's out of there.
It's not full 3 days in the tomb.
So tell me, is there something, do you think, theologically significant in this 4-day business with Lazarus? Is it like he'd be stinking big time, dead body stuff on the 4th day? Do you think that was the significance? Like, there is no way on earth that somebody can be alive after 4 days. Do you think that's what it is? This is not just dozing off.
Yeah, that's
There's
part
4
of the
days
story.
down.
Yeah, this is
and that's the miracle?
from God.
The length of time as well?
But, the part of the scholar in me goes, it could also just be a story.
Wow. Okay.
Because it then sets Jesus up for his resurrection story. And many people go, that's just a story too. I think that one, it's hard not to – I get why people just don't come back from the dead. Let's face it, they don't. There's not even that many in the Bible that come back from the dead. Jesus raises a daughter, a widow's son, Lazarus, and himself.
Right. Yep.
They're the ones I can think of. There may be more. Sorry if I'm a bad Christian for not knowing that.
Jairus' daughter?
Well, that's the little girl. Yeah.
Oh, the little girl, yeah.
So it could be Jesus sets this up so that everyone then hates him and you're going to put him to the cross, because after that point it says the religious leaders went, this is out of hand. Everyone's going to believe in him.
Yeah.
If they believe in him, the Romans are going to take over.
Yep.
And we've got a bit of religion at the moment under the Romans, but they'll just wipe it all out. It's better that one man dies
for
everyone to be saved than for the Romans to come in, which they ended up doing anyway. After the Jews raised up and they knocked the temple down, and there was all the bad stuff that happened. It's one of those things I do. And I think the miraculous is a strange thing, because I had an experience recently where I was sick. I had kidney stones. And I went to my doctor after having taken myself to the hospital.
Yep.
And they said, yeah, you've got kidney stones, and he did a CT scan and then get another one in a couple of weeks. And I went and got another one and went to my doctor, and she went, yeah, you probably need to see a urologist. And she gave me a urologist to see, Dr. what's his name, down in St. Leonard's, and I rang them and they said, because it's December, I probably can't fit you in until mid to late January. Do you want to make an appointment? I went, I guess so.
Yep.
And then because I've been visiting people in hospital at the Hills Hospital, I'd passed a thing that said urology. So I went, oh, well, I'll just ring them and maybe they'll be able to fit me in a bit earlier. So I rang the Hills Urology and the woman said, yeah, we probably can't fit you in until January, but look, what's going on? I said, well, this is my story. I've just had a CT scan as a follow-up and it says they're still there and I do have episodes of this pain, renal colic, they call it. Oh, okay. Well, let me just talk to the doctor and maybe we can see what we can do. Next thing I know is I'm being rung by the doctor.
That day.
Who's, like just an hour later.
I remember.
I'm having a Christmas lunch with my mum in her retirement centre and every time I sit down to eat lunch, I get this phone call.
Yep.
And she says, I think we can fit you in this afternoon.
Like at 7 p.m. at night or something, wasn't it?
7 p.m. today.
Get to the hospital.
Okay, let's do that.
Wow.
And then I get a call from the doctor just as I sat down and she goes, this is what we're going to do.
Stop eating.
If I can get – no, well, not yet.
Not yet.
If I can get a laser, we'll laser it. If not, I'll get the clawy bits and we'll drag it out or break it up and drag it out.
Blast it. Is it blasted?
No, they blast it with a laser or she was going to use the cutting things and cut it up and bring the little micro grabbers and grab the bits out.
Sounds ouchy.
Yeah. Well, not when you're asleep.
No, good.
There's only one way to get there apparently and that's not a fun space to go through. I went, okay, let's do that.
Wow.
I'll come in today. Awesome. Great. And then I sat down to lunch and then the hospital rings and says, make sure you don't need anything now. So I got literally
dinner.
No. Okay. And so I went in and that afternoon was in the place. I was scheduled to go into theatre at 5:30. 5 o'clock the doctor comes in and says, okay, we're going in now. They had the laser that she wasn't sure that she could get. By 7 o'clock I was out back in recovery and 9 o'clock I was home. But the weird thing...
Come on, this is a miracle, brother.
On top of that...
Come on, just give it up for Jesus. Claps for Jesus.
Top of that, on top of that is then I had my follow-up appointment.
Yep.
And I drove to this urology place that I'd seen at the Hills Hospital.
Yes, and...
Wrong place. The urology place was another quarter of an hour up the road in another place. So this place that I thought I'd booked into because I'd seen it as a coincidence wasn't the place.
How interesting.
And so it all just came together.
It's a level of intervention, I think, that, and I remember the timing and I remember what was going on in your life.
And I needed it before Christmas.
You needed it done. It was urgent. You're in pain.
To get through Christmas Day and go, can't talk now, I've got to go out.
Yes, in agony. That's right.
In agony.
That's provision. Oh, come on, John.
So I go, that's as close to as a miracle, but it's not, clearly I wasn't miraculously healed.
But it
wasn't like God took away my kidney stones like the blind man's eye.
There's provision, don't you see?
But there seems to be a coincidence there that just works, which could just be a bunch of coincidences.
Very rare in the medical
sphere. Or it
sphere.
could be what I call a God incidence, a little nudge.
I'd say.
But at the same time, I recognise that people have this horrible stuff. And I know someone that Linda was her husband was waiting 6 months to have the surgery.
Yep.
And why am I any more worthy than somebody else? And
You're not, brother.
Why does God just work for me? So part of my head goes, this is just a bit freaky.
Yeah.
And a bit like my story that we've shared, these weird stuff that happens. So I know God's at work in the world. But if I pray for car space, I'm not going to necessarily get it. And if I pray for healing, I'm not going to necessarily get it. And when I pray for other people to be healed, they're not necessarily healed. And yet I had this story where everything just went fell into place.
Yep.
And the place that I thought it was falling into place wasn't even the place.
Yeah.
That somehow I'd seen this thing by accidentally walking through the wrong space of the hospital, because it's literally on a floor that I just was lost.
Yep.
And I walked past it and somehow remembered it on this day that my doctor said I needed to find somewhere. And I went, surely, I'm sure I could get in quicker. And I just rang this place. So I go, yeah, maybe, might be, maybe, probably, but can't say definitely. But
okay. So let's slot into AD when Jesus was Jesus AD.
Time, going back in time.
Go back Jesus time. Let's go back.
Yeah.
And this miracle of, say, Lazarus, pick one of the miracles, and you're just a bystander, you're a bestie of somebody that's watching this gig go down with, some miracle thing going down, and you watch this coincidence, God incidence, intervention by the Jesus, and you then, would have you been one of these people that then ran off and told 10 friends? Or would you have been one of those friends that went, oh, I don't know, what I've just seen is real? Because that's what I'm hearing from you.
No, I accept it if I see it.
Can you not see what you've just told me is quite miraculous?
Well,
or do I just have a lens?
There's enough of it that goes, that's just a bit weird.
Right.
And there's a good chance it might be.
Yep.
But the part of me also goes, well, what about all the other blind people that never got healed? What about all the people whose loved ones died that didn't get rose back? What about my dad? He just died.
Yep.
He didn't get healed.
No.
And I prayed, and the church prayed.
Yep.
We did have some amazing times, and I think that was God at work.
Yeah, 100%.
And my boss just went, well, you just take all the time off that you need. And so I think it isn't magic. I don't think just because we pray it, we get it. And I don't think that everyone gets a miracle. It's not Oprah. God is not Oprah saying you get a miracle, you get a miracle, you get a miracle. No. Everyone gets a miracle.
No.
And even then, it's only the audience. It's not everyone gets a car.
And I don't think
like
necessarily the miracle is often the thing that we think it needs to be.
Yeah.
So like you just alluded to, your dad died, but some other amazing things happened in and around that. And I think about my friend Lynn who died, beautiful member of our church. I was woken in the middle of the night for months leading up to her death, praying. I was convinced that she was going to live for another 3 years. She asked me to pray for 3 years. I was praying. Had the congregation praying. We were all praying, and then Lynn died.
Well, she had that major rupture.
She had a major rupture.
And she should have died.
Yes.
But her son.
Yes. There was these miracles that happened, right?
Yeah.
She had terminal cancer. She was going down hard and fast.
Well, the tumour went.
It exploded internally.
And you should die at that point.
Instantly. You're going to be septic.
Yeah.
And they managed to sustain her life and consciousness while her son got on a flight with his whole family from England into the bougie hospital where she was. They allowed her dog to come into the cancer ward.
Yeah, without all the paperwork.
No paperwork, just allowed Fergus to come in and be bedside with her. This was her person. This was her number one person outside her family. Fergus was her family, And I see all these provisions. The family were bedside when she passed. I see provision and God's thumbprint on all of it, John.
Yeah, and we've had that great conversation with Pablo Nunez, who's the up-and-coming moderator of the Uniting Church. You might be watching this or listening to this podcast. His may come before this or after it. But again, his amazing story of having to come to Australia.
Yeah, whoa, that's a story.
And everything just fell into place in a way that it shouldn't happen that fast.
No, that was miraculous.
Or with the lack of red tape that normally happens.
Incredible.
So I know that stuff happens and I believe it. And I think for me there's that great prayer or bit of the Bible which says, God, I believe, help my unbelief.
Yeah.
That this is at work. But I know it's not for everyone, so I'm not going to tell everyone, pray your little heart out and you'll get your miracle. And I don't know why I got one or why you got one other than we needed you at that time, or maybe, as we talked about, Slink needed it more than you needed it.
I don't think it was for me.
Yeah.
It was for Aurora.
And so God works, that's the mysterious ways where I don't have 100% answer. I can't prove it. I can't.
But you do know that God was at work into
it. And I trust that every day. I just often am in the right place where I need to be. And or somebody tells me something, I can be in the right place just when I'm needed. And people used to say that when I was a school chaplain.
Yeah. I'm so glad you're here.
You're just in the right place where whenever we need you, you just happen to be there.
Ministry of presence.
And that wasn't me trying to be there. It just so happened that
God had you there.
Well, yeah, however that happens, you know.
And I suppose this is what we call it the mystery of God, don't we?
Yeah.
It's a real mystery where we can't be definitive and we don't exactly know. We actually don't know, but we can have a sense or I call it like a nudging or a knowing that it's of the divine. How to prove it, I can't, but I just...
And there's that movie, The Adjustment Bureau, where these angels are... causing little things to happen, maybe bumping somebody's cup and spills on them and then they get off the bus and then they don't meet that person and stuff like that. In the movie they get it wrong.
Yes.
Well, at least the people argue that, no, that's not actually God's plan. And I think that's what I struggle with when it comes to miracles, that people say this is God's plan and they seem to think that, like the blind man, that who was born blind, why was he blind? And Jesus goes, no one did anything bad. God's not punishing him or anyone else. And if it was a different day, he wouldn't have been healed.
Yes.
But because he's here and I'm here and we need to show people something important, we're going to let God's work be manifest in this person's life this time. And that's not, it was a setup that allowed things to happen. There is a sense of flow, but maybe more miracles happen. And I'm part of a group at our church where there's a guy called Mike Endicott. He's a blind man, ironically, about miracles. But he's going, we don't pray to get something to happen. We pray that we can be in touch with God and that when we're in touch with God, God wants good things to happen and there will be good that comes out of it, whether it's an amazing miracle or whether it's more subtle or maybe it's coincidences that hit you up with the right medical people. Maybe it's a turnaround of a disease that maybe not gets turned around normally, but it does. Or I think it's a spectrum of God working, and sometimes it's bang like you that what is physically normally not possible has happened.
Whereas
my story it just seems like it normally wouldn't happen that way, but everything seemed to fall into place.
Yep.
And there's other people that nothing changes in their circumstance, but the miracle is that they don't become hopeless and depressed. They actually still live with joy, even in the midst of dying and pain. And they're just these amazing people because somehow they're transformed. So do I believe in miracles? Yes.
Clap track, John.
Do I believe super all the time? No.
No. Wow.
Do I know what they look like? No.
Yeah,
do I know when to expect them? No. Do I know how they work? No. Do I know how prayer works? No.
But do you do it? Yes.
Sometimes.
You pray all the time, brother.
I do, but I don't always pray for miracles. I just pray for healing.
For healing.
That God is at work.
That's right.
And I cop out maybe. It's a cop out. God, your will be done.
Yeah.
Not what I want, but what you want. Anyway.
Oh, it's such a good conversation.
You had a miracle.
Yeah, I am too.
And I'm glad I had healing, whether it was a miracle or not.
You've had a healing in perfect time.
And I just still feel with everyone, because there'll be people watching today, that it doesn't happen that way.
Yeah.
And they're going, why the hell, God, do some people get healed and I don't? And for me, that's that story of Lazarus where even though Jesus knew he was going to do something amazing, when the women came out and they were sad, he wept.
Yeah.
And even as he walks to the tomb, it said he was still greatly disturbed. He knows he's going to do something amazing and it's all going to end well. But in that moment when you're going through people's pain with each other, I think that's the biggest miracle, that God knows our pain and cares and is at work, and whether it magically or miraculously gets transformed or not, this deeper belief is that God is at work for good in everything.
And you know what? God is in the pain and the discomfort.
Yeah.
Even if there's no miracle, God is still there. God will show up.
God knows it.
Yes.
And the miracle is that we
Firsthand.
still find hope.
Yeah.
And we still find joy when we've lost somebody. We can still come out of that.
Yep.
And still find a full life, So, wow, big questions.
convo.
I don't know what you think. Do you believe in miracles? What do you think about how God works in the world? These are great conversations to have with others. Have a filthy, hopeful conversation.
And if you've got a miracle story, can you let us know?
Yeah, write it in the comments.
Yeah,
We'd love to
come
hear
on.
that.
We'd love you to come on the show.
Yeah, we'll reach out.
Tell us about it. Yeah.
Not that we're just about miracles, because
No.
we're also about the gritty stuff as well.
Yep, absolutely. I find in a miracle story, there's always a grit part.
Yeah.
Always. I don't think they're ever just miracle on miracle. They're a miracle because there's gritty first.
Miracle and not happily ever after always.
Yep, absolutely. Hey, thanks, John.
Thanks.
Great conversation.
Thanks, Ness.
My pleasure. That
Thank
was
you for
fun.
watching, people.
Thanks for watching.
Be well, make good choices.
See you next time.
See ya. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Filthy Hope today. If you're not already a subscriber, could you maybe subscribe? It's going to really help other listeners find us.